I'm your host, Pete Hegseth. And tonight we look at the once bustling boomtown known as Bidenville. It had so much promise, such a growing and busy population, tents as far as the eye could see. But alas, the third world city that sprung up under a bridge in Del Rio, Texas, is no more. That's right, a week after it sprung up, the illegal town of Bidenville, well, it's no more for now. Just look at the stark contrast in these images on your screen of what this camp looked like on Tuesday compared to now. They even brought in the bulldozers to tidy it up a bit for the after photos commissioned by CNN and MSNBC. But where did all its non-citizens go? DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas laid out the numbers yet again for us this afternoon.
Nearly 30,000 migrants have been encountered at Del Rio since September 9th, with the highest number at one time reaching approximately 15,000. Today, we have no migrants remaining in the camp.
30,000 illegals came through Bidenville. Some stayed for a while, some only briefly. That's an entire baseball stadium of illegals waiting to rush into America. Now, just yesterday, the administration told us there was still 5,000 illegals left in the government camp. So 24 hours later, where did they go? And what happened to the 3,200 people they told us were being processed?
Approximately 12,400 individuals will have their cases heard by an immigration judge to make a determination on whether they will be removed or permitted to remain in the United States. If someone is not subject to Title 42 expulsion, the individual is placed in immigration proceedings.
He inspires such confidence. Now, as we shared last night, we know that removal proceedings actually mean being released into the shadows of the United States. So did the Biden administration just drop 12,000 illegals and likely far, far more into your backyard? The answer is unequivocally yes. But don't worry, we have to be testing these people for COVID, right? Surely the administration that loves forcing vaccine and mask mandates on hardworking, tax-paying, actual American citizens must be treating these illegals the same way.
Just mentioning COVID, what is the situation there? I know that the crowd has been dispersed. Do we know who has tested positive, if people got sick?
We did not test that population of individuals. I do not know whether anyone was sick with COVID.
We did not. That's a big no. You need a COVID test to eat inside a restaurant in the city I'm in right now and a mask to fly in a plane. But illegals don't need any of that to enter America. And if Biden had ever been to the border in his life, he might be able to get an idea on what's going on down there. But 3 days after Fox News pressed the White House on why Biden's never been to the border, we still have no answers.
Why hasn't President Biden ever visited the southern border?
What would you like him to do at the southern border, and what impact do you think that would have on the policies?
Then why visit hurricane disaster areas or flood zones or go visit war zones time and time again, as Biden has? What impact could seeing those images firsthand possibly have on your policies? Jen Psaki said a lot of dumb things, but this might take the cake, well, at least for today. So seeing is not understanding. Better to make decisions from air-conditioned offices in Washington, D.C., surrounded by lobbyists. Maybe by actually going to Texas, Biden can see how hard the job of securing our border actually is and how much the agents of Border Patrol deal with every day, from drug busts to babysitting. Instead, his administration is focused on the real crisis, or excuse me, the really fake crisis, that border agents were whipping Haitians.
And this is happening under your watch. Do you take responsibility for the chaos that's unfolding?
Of course I take responsibility. I'm president, but it was horrible what to see, as you saw. To see people treated like they did, horses barely running them over, people being strapped, it's outrageous. I promise you those people will pay. They will be, an investigation underway now, and there will be consequences. There will be consequences. It's an embarrassment.
Those people will pay. So the Border Patrol will pay. Guilty of only one thing, actually enforcing the border that Democrats don't give a damn about. Any fair investigation will show they did nothing wrong, because they didn't. But that won't matter. They've already been smeared at the highest levels of our government. The question you heard from the reporter before Joe Biden answered was about the exploding chaos on the border. But all Biden could focus on was a debunked picture. And there was no follow-up questions. Peter Doocy would have asked it, but he wasn't on the White House-approved 3-question list. How about we ask the man who actually took the Horse Patrol photo? Well, today he said, quote, "I've never seen them whip anyone. It can be misconstrued when you're looking at a picture." You think? And leave it to Vice President Giggles to double down on the leftist lies. Even a COVID scare on the set of The View couldn't keep root causes Kamala away from slamming Border Patrol.
There needs to be consequence and accountability. It also evoked images of some of the worst moments of our history where that kind of behavior has been used against the indigenous people of our country, has been used against African Americans during times of slavery.
I'm sorry, Kamala. Didn't Indians ride horses too? I'm just asking. But of course, I digress. And this whole bit about slavery, shameless, wrong, and straight up offensive. Slavery? The only slaves on the border are the sex slaves the Mexican cartels exploit every day. I guess those people won't pay. Will they, Joe? Instead, the White House is happy to hang these agents out to dry in a craven public relations push to judgment. But at least an impartial investigation, it's underway by their boss.
The images horrified us in terms of what they suggest and what they conjure up in terms of not only our nation's history, but unfortunately the fact that that page of history has not been turned entirely. But I will not prejudge the facts.
He defended it when he first saw it a couple days ago, but then he got corralled by the White House. A little late for that one, don't you think, Secretary? You can't cast your judgment on these brave border agents and then follow up with, "But I'm waiting for the facts." I cannot imagine being a Border Patrol agent right now in the United States of America. Not allowed to do your job, and if you do, you will be the bad guy. It's almost as if the White House hates Border Patrol as much as they do the cops. We know they do. And what does it all add up to? Well, Bidenville might be empty right now, but the message to illegals is even more clear than ever. The border is open. The Border Patrol isn't allowed to do their job. And even if the White House says you're being removed, you're actually being released. America is wide open, just the way the Democrats want it.